Hello Andre, this is part 1 because I didn't do last week's video, so if you wanna, so sprint 4 stuff, so if you wanna skip to the next video that has sprint 5, that's cool. So first we'll go off the keyboard event manager, which holds a map of all the single key events as well, and it's keyed by the Azul key. And then so when inputable registers, it finds to see if that key is already registered, and if it isn't, it creates one and then registers it. If it is, it just registers it in that correct one. And then deregistering with the quick deregister, and then just goes through the map to process each individual map, and then in the destructor it deletes it. And so for the single key event manager, it has one key, and it then has a list of inputtables. It has a press list and a release list. And so when press list, release list, and so when it has two states, pressed or released, and so it's in the pressed and the frame changes from the last one, that means a key was released, so it processes the release events, and it's vice versa. And so when inputable wants to register, when a game object wants to register a key, it'll register and it'll go through the inputable, and this actually has a map of the registration data, which holds the registration state and the iterators, and so it has two maps, a press map and a release map. And so when it submits the registration, it finds to see if there's a map for that key. If there isn't, it creates a new input registration for that key in that state, so like key A, state pressed, and then it puts it in the press map or the release map, and so this way we can check the registration state of it. And so it goes along with the registration and deregistration as well. And so I'll show you that. So right now, go to output. And so on B and also on plane, you can see it's pressed. And on space, it fires. And on P, it's also pressed. And then if you see that it goes through scenes, there's no plane, so it's, and then there's no B sphere. Okay. And so, yeah, and then we'll see so if we do a key that wasn't registered and we try to deregister it, it'll throw an error. Alright, and then if we do one that was already registered in the same state, it'll throw an error. And yeah, so and in the game loop, it is in, okay, it is right above the update right here in the keyboard manager. Yeah, and so you saw my bullets, and so for scene exit, we're going on to the game exit. In scene exit, there's commands, and so the scene in the game object, you submit exit and submit entry, and so this can check the registration state. And then for submit exit, it only checks it once. And so like on the bullet, I have a factory, and on the factory it submits entry, and then the bullet on clean entry, it registers the alarm, the update, and the draw. And then on submit exit, it does the out, and then on the exit, it does the deregistration for all that, and then it returns it to the factory. And you saw that as the bullets were being created. On space, they're giant stitch bullets. You didn't notice that. Yeah. And then there's a camera manager for each in the scene. It's not a singleton. So I changed it to not be a singleton. And then in each scene it has a camera manager. And here it's not a singleton. And it just has the static of getting the current camera. And then the time manager is created. And that's, yeah. Where do you let time manager? There you are. It already has the freeze time, but it gives the instance of get game time in seconds. Okay, the next video will be Sprint 5 stuff. Thanks, Andre.